Right, so a bit of a brief explanation about the video you're about to watch. So some of you might class this as a failure. I don't really class it as a failure, I just class it as being compromised whilst camping. Whilst I was out doing my camping, my stealth camp yesterday, I proceeded to go to the campsite that I planned to go to. I got there and found out that, this is all in the video by the way, I'm just giving a brief description of what took place. I got there and there was logging in progress. There was like forestry going on in that section of the forest. It was all cordoned off, big red signs, that sort of thing, you know what I mean. So I thought, this is not a good place to be. As you know, it's dangerous. So I thought, I'll go to my secondary location. Went there, got there, set my hammock up between two really nice silver birch trees, using the tree straps because they're the safest and kindest to the trees that you can use. Did all that. Got some tea on, had some beef stew and that sort of stuff. Did some filming, and then basically just got settled in my hammock because the temperature was starting to drop, the sun was going down, and I thought, we'll settle in, get the camera ready, we'll do some filming of the stars, if there's anything knocking about, because that's what the video was about looking for those strange lights that have been sighted above the area, which I don't think has anything to do with what happened to me in the woods. I'm completely logical. I look for logical explanations. Anyway, so whilst sat laid in the hammock watching the trees, from the side of me, this guy just walks straight through my camp, bold as anything. He just gave me this creepy look when he walked past. He had his arms outstretched. He was carrying a black bin liner in his arms and then disappeared into the bushes at the side of me. Now, I've walked that path. I know that path is a dead end to the side of me because I've walked it before, because I thought it might be a quicker route down to the main path when walking out in the morning. It's blocked by massive bramble bushes and several huge gorse bushes. So there's no way you're getting through there. If you're going to try and get through that way, you're going to get ripped apart by the thorns and the spikes on the gorse bushes. So at that point, I thought, my site's been compromised. I've got to pack up. I've got to find another location. I've got to leave here. Because I didn't like the fact that he was in the woods with me and I didn't know where he was. Because he could have doubled back around the back of me at any point. He could have, he might have been in the woods to steal my equipment, attack me. I just didn't know. It was strange that somebody was walking through the woods at that time of night carrying a black bin liner, which seemed to be heavy because he got it in both arms, outstretched, carrying it through the woods. And it just seemed really, really strange to me. I'm not the type of person that gets scared at these sort of things, but I get anxious when I know there's somebody when I actually know there's somebody in the woods with me and I don't know where they are and they're acting suspiciously. That's the time to pack up and leave. There's no point being macho about these sort of things. That's a dangerous situation. You don't know what this person is capable of or anything like that. And I didn't know if he got friends in the woods as well. So in that situation, I would have been outnumbered. And so I made a tactical retreat. I came home, I gave up. I thought, nah, it's too late now to go and find somewhere else and go and camp. So unfortunately, you guys might class it as a failure. I class it as a successful failure again. One of these times I'm actually going to get out in the woods and actually spend the night in camp. But it just seems lately everything's been going against me. It was annoying. It was annoying I had to come back. I was just really pissed off that I had to come back. I have got another camp planned, and this is another pine forest, but this is just way out near Matlock, so I'm going to be doing that one either this week or next week at some point when the weather is better. But on the plus side, I did find a couple of really great stealth camping sites as I was going on the hike yesterday, so I might do those first. Anyway, I'll let you watch the video and you can see for yourselves what happened. I didn't get any footage of the guy. I put all my stuff away because I wasn't using a tarp. I thought if it does rain, I want all my electronics in my bag so they're not going to get wet. So the first thing I actually reached for was actually my hiking poles. I thought, yeah, if he comes back, he's going to get a good whack with one of these hiking poles, and then I'm going to do a runner. But yeah, enjoy the video, guys, and let me know in the comments what you think below, what you think actually happened last night. Hey everybody, back from the stealth camp as promised. Tonight's stealth camp is going to be in a pine forest. Now this location Over the last few days, last few weeks, there's been some strange sightings of lights in the sky. So it's a bit of a UFO hotspot as well as a good little camping site. And you can't see it, but over there in that distance beyond those trees, in fact you just can see them. If you look round up there, I'll try and zoom in on it for you. It's up there. You can see two towers, two communication towers. I'll try and get a better look at those in a bit up the top, but yeah, there's been some strange lights hovering around those two, because obviously they're communication towers, so they might be of some interest. But like I said, I'm going into this very open-minded, skeptical. I'm a skeptic, you know. If there's a UFO in front of me and, you know, I can see it with my own eyes, then that's proof enough for me. And of course, what we mean by UFO is unidentified flying objects. That could be anything. Obviously we have to take into consideration it could be drones, stuff like that, but got an open mind, and we'll see if we can actually see anything knocking about. Bring you back in a bit, guys. It's amazing at the minute, everything is coming to life. It's spring, all the trees are springing into life. There's green everywhere. I love this time of year when spring's just starting to get warmer. So today it's giving a high of 10 degrees Celsius around here, and the low tonight is going to be 5 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be a fairly comfortable night. It's not going to freeze or anything like that. I've not brought a sleeping bag with me. I've just brought a sleeping bag liner, a fleece sleeping bag liner. Wow, this is a bit dodgy. What's happened here? It's like the whole thing's fell down. Look at that. Wow. You do not want to get snagged by that with those thorns in there. Look at those thorns. Look at those. Whoa. Those are some whoppers. Right. So it's not going to get below freezing tonight, which is good. So like I said, I've only brought a sleeping bag liner. It's going to be a hammock camp. I've got my hammock with me. I'll show you all my kit when I start to get set up, but yeah, it's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good camp. Hopefully we get to see some stars tonight and it's not cloudy like it was last night. I was going to do this last night, but then I looked at the weather forecast, and I'm not a fine weather camper, but I really wanted to see some stars, and it's give it clear for tonight. So fingers crossed we'll see some stars with the camera and stuff. We'll try to anyway. But yeah, it's just gorgeous down here, right next to a bypass though, as you would probably call it, a freeway, but to my American and Canadian friends. But yeah, right next to that. I can smell petrol. Definitely smell petrol coming down here. But yeah, I'll bring you back when we're in sight of where we're going to be going. So this, guys, is last year's bracken. As you can see, there's no way you should have a campfire around anything like this. It's an absolute tinderbox, and the thing is, mixed in with all this, there's actually fallen silver birch trees. I think there's one down here. The silver birch trees mixed in with this bracken, and we all know how well silver birch goes up. As you can see, they've cut the stumps down there. That's a silver birch tree, and they've just laid the tree down in the bracken, and that's an absolute nightmare. That's why you don't have fires this time of year. You may think it's okay because it's a bit colder in the morning and stuff like that. It only takes one loose spark and the whole lot goes up. So that's why I don't have fires when I'm out stealth camping. It's not worth it. So there's actually a bridge down there that I had to cross. I crossed the bridge, across the bypass, and I got to the side, and I was walking down the path towards the woods where I was going to camp tonight, and it said logging in progress, caution, and the whole area was blocked off with big red signs on the actual fencing. And I don't cross fencing, I don't go into areas where there's actually forestry and logging in progress, because it's dangerous and it's not worth it. So that site's been put on hold until another time, so heading off to another site to camp that I recently camped. If you go back and look through my video catalogue, you'll find where I camped out in a nature reserve. I'm going to go to that spot and have a camp there tonight. So just to cover what I was talking about earlier about the bracken and why you shouldn't have fires. Here in the UK, if you're wild camping and you're not sure whose land it is, the best thing to do is not light a fire, because not only can you can cause a wildfire, and you know that's no good for anybody. You can also get prosecuted for criminal damage as well. That's why I don't have fires. And I've seen people. I watched a video the other day, a guy in Cannock Chase had a fire similar to this, bracken all around, pine needles, dry pine needles on the floor. He didn't even dig the fire out, so to check there was no moss underneath that would like catch light, which can happen. You can set fire to the roots of trees under moss, and he didn't even put any stones around the fire to contain it in case it did get out of control. He just put his fire straight on the ground, around all pine needles, around all dry grass, and it was just an accident waiting to happen. Luckily for him, I don't think anything happened, but all it takes is for your fire to collapse in the night and blow away, or a wayward spark to set light to all of this, and you're in a world of hurt. And I think a lot of the English campers, the British campers that I see doing wild camping, are trying to copy the Americans, who obviously have, you know, they probably don't have as strict laws as we do over here. But it's well worth taking note that, you know, all you're doing at the minute is, if you were on somebody's land that's private, is you're trespassing. Which they can prosecute you for as well. But more than likely they'll just ask you to move on, and you just move on. But if you've cut a tree down and had a fire, that's criminal damage, guys, and that takes it from a civil matter to a criminal matter, and you can land yourself in a world of hurt doing that sort of thing. It's just not worth it. That's why we have the mantra of leave no trace. You know, if you're going to wild camp, make sure you respect the land that you're on. That's why I don't have any fires. I don't have a fire or anything like that. I have a gas stove. I go in and I leave everything as I find it. I could do bushcraft, but I choose not to, because that would mean using woodland materials that aren't my property. And like I said, if the landowner really wanted to, and I got caught and he decided to prosecute me, he could take it from a civil offence to a criminal offence, and then you're facing much stiffer penalties for that. So I just came across this in the woods. It's an abandoned fire. And this is the reason why it's illegal to wild camp here in the UK. It's because we've got inconsiderate people like this that just leave it a mess and don't clear up after themselves. You know, this is what I was talking about earlier about criminal damage. I mean, they've obviously scarred the land here. They've not cleaned it up or anything. And it's not just that. They've stuck branches everywhere, and then they've like just dumped their shit into the trees without taking it with them. It just makes me sick. And this is the reason why we're not allowed to wild camp in the UK, is because of one or two inconsiderate people, that small percentage that leave it an absolute shit tip when they leave. It just annoys me. This is why I don't have campfires. This is why I don't do it, because if anybody turns up and they say, oh, you know, you've had a campfire, it's illegal and all that sort of stuff, it's like, just clean up your mess after you leave. It just disgusts me. You know, you've obviously taken the time to build it. Just dismantle it and just, you know, put it back in the woods and, you know, clean your mess up. It just annoys me. Right, guys, this is weird. I've got to admit, this is very strange. Right, I'm up here because there's been sightings of like strange lights in the sky around this area, and I watched a documentary series called Hellier. I don't know if any of you lot have watched that, but there's significance put in party balloons just appearing out of nowhere and for no reason. And I was walking down the path, and hanging in the tree is it's a balloon hanging in the tree. Could be coincidence, could be complete coincidence, but it's very, very strange that on this particular day I choose to come and investigate some strange lights in the sky, and now there's a balloon hanging in the trees where I'm about to be spending the night. That is weird. You know, I wasn't even supposed to be spending the night here. I was supposed to be spending the night down in those woods down there. It's just freaky. It could be coincidence. This could be like a route where, you know, the wind blows all the time and things like this get caught. But it's just strange. It's strange that it would happen today. It's weird. So that's a closer look at the balloon there. It's there up in the tree. That is just so weird. It might just be a coincidence, but then again, when I watched the documentary Hellier, it called these things synchronicities. I'll look that up. It's just weird. I mean, I've got a completely skeptical mind when it comes to this sort of stuff, but you know, the day I'm coming up here to investigate, you know, strange lights over these woods up here, and then there's like a balloon that's up in the tree where this light phenomenon, it's associated with this type of stuff. Like it's marking a path of where you should be. And like I said, I wasn't even going to be camping up here tonight. I was supposed to be camping in some woods further down there, and then I find this. It's just weird. Right, I've arrived at camp, guys. I've got the hammock set up, one Tigris hammock, an under blanket, and yeah, so I'll set up. Don't know if I'm going to use a tarp yet or not though. It hasn't given any rain for tonight or tomorrow. This is why I picked today to do it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when the temperature drops later, when the sun goes down. But yeah, don't think I'm going to be using a tarp tonight. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get some food on. So I've got options. I've got Tesco ready-to-eat smoked mackerel fillets. I'm probably going to cook that with some Marks & Spencer's microwave golden vegetable rice. Mix all that in with the fish in the billy can, in the mess tin. And I think I'll have that later. I think I'll have that before I go to bed, because that's more of a substantial meal. But I have got this option as well. I might have this now. Something to eat, beef stew with potatoes. I think I might have that now. I think I might do this one, guys. So guys, what do you do when you're out here in the woods? I know some of you listen to music or play a movie. Me personally, I just like to just lay here and just listen to the sounds of the forest, the wood, the birds, the trees, the wind, that sort of thing. I just like to chill out and relax. I like to get away from technology a little bit, even though I'm here filming this on a camera, I know. But yeah, if I didn't have this, you guys wouldn't be able to see what I was doing, would you? But yeah, leave a comment below. Tell me what you like to do. What's your favourite thing to do when you come out in the woods? I know a lot of people, sometimes it's just to make a fire and stuff like where it's legal, of course. Me personally, I just like to kick back, chill, and just watch the woodland. It's awesome. Peace and quiet. Just getting away from it all. Just getting away from, you know, traffic, that sort of thing. It's just nice to come back to the woods and just chill out. It really is. It's awesome. Sun's starting to go down now. It's 7 o'clock. Sunset here at the minute, this time of year, is 8 o'clock. So I've got an hour left of sunlight. Well, it'll go dusk. Probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock. It'll be pitch black. Yeah, it just looks awesome in the light though, doesn't it? The forest. Look at that. Temperature's starting to drop a little bit as well, so I think I'll get my trousers on in a bit. And then once it goes dark, we'll have a look, see if we can see anything in the sky. And then I'm going to call it a night, guys, I think. There it is. Last bits of daylight. Right guys, so the sun is going down. I don't know if you can see that. Sun's going down. Well, it's gone down now. The sun has gone down. I'm in the hammock because the temperature's dropping. Thought I'd get in the hammock a little bit. This is what I'm sleeping tonight. It's like a fleece liner, sleeping bag liner, but it's really warm. It's really thick and warm. So I've got that on. I've got my ski trousers on and my fleece, my hat. It's not give it to get too cold, but it's going to be a clear night, so it's going to be brisk, put it that way. But yeah, all settled in and just got nothing but the sky above me, as you can see. Look at that, it's awesome. Sky above, blue sky. So I can just lay here and look at the stars, and we'll see what we can see. I don't think I'll be doing much moving around tonight now. I think that's it. I'm in now. So I'll bring you guys back in a bit, do some night vision stuff. If anything happens, I'll bring you back. If not, I shall see you guys in the morning. So I've just had the strangest thing ever happen. Had a guy walk from that direction over there, up the path, go along there and through there, and he was carrying something in a black bin liner. I kid you not, guys. I was literally just laid here and he just looked at me as he went past. I was like, what the fuck was that? So I'm going to move sites quickly. I'm not stopping here now. So guys, we're making a quick exit out of these woods. Whoever that guy was, my position's been compromised, so gotta leave the area. I don't like the idea of being in here in the dark when somebody can walk through the woods past me, look really creepy when he walks past, holding
a plastic bin liner, black bin liner in his hand as he's walking through the wood, gives me a creepy look, and then I don't know where he's gone. For all I know, he's still in the woods somewhere, and I wouldn't be getting any sleep tonight because I'd have broken down the hammock and just sat somewhere in the woods. So rather than do that, I'm going to get the hell out of these woods. That was just weird. That's probably the most weirdest encounter I've ever had whilst camping. So just walking through the woods with a carrier bag. What's that about? Like a black bin liner. That's mental. Alright, he's down here. Let's get out of here. We are out. Yeah, out of those woods. Walk the path down here, I think. I'll get it down there. That was weird. That was strange, to say the least. I wish I'd got a trail cam because I'd have left it behind to see if he came back. But that was just weird. So it was just a bizarre encounter. I've never had anything like that in my life whilst camping. You know, for a minute, I thought it was actually coming to like move me on because he'd see me in the woods or something. They got cameras up in there and they saw me. And then he just walked past with like this weird, creepy look on his face. Like, no. You know, it's one thing to be scared of the dark because there's nothing in it. It's another thing to be scared when you know there's someone in the woods with you. Get the hell out of here. That was strange.